Hello everyone and welcome back to our videos. Today we will talk about the masks, and the mask is the component of the oxygen system of the aircraft. Masks are used to deliver the oxygen to the user. The types of masks: continuous flow mask and demand type mask. Demand type mask must fit tightly to the face so no outside air can enter. And this the continuous flow mask. And here we have a demand type mask. Rigid plumbing lines that carry high pressure oxygen are made of stainless steel, and that found on the demand masks. Typical installed gases oxygen systems. If an aircraft has an installed oxygen system, it will be one of three types: continuous flow type, dilator demand type, or pressure demand type. Aircraft that operate at high altitude are equipped with dilator demand or pressure or demand oxygen regulator. For the flight crew and continuous flow system for occupants of the cabin. The aircraft operating at altitudes above 40,000 feet will usually have pressure demand systems for the crew and passengers. Liquid oxygen systems. Civilian aircraft don't use liquid oxygen because of the difficulty in handling it's not readily available. The military use liquid oxygen because of the space and weight savings it makes possible. 1 liter of liquid oxygen will produce approximately 860 liters of gaseous oxygen. The regulators and masks are the same. Liquid oxygen is held in spherical container. Normal operation, the build-up and vent valve is back-seated, so some of the liquid oxygen can flow into the build-up coil, where it absorbs enough heat to evaporate and pressurize the system to the amount allowed by the container. When the supply valve on the regulator is turned on, liquid oxygen flows from the container into the supply evaporator coil, where it absorbs heat and turns into gaseous oxygen. If for any reason excessive pressure should build up in the system, it will vent overboard through one of the relief valves. Typically, this figure illustrates the liquid oxygen systems. Chemical oxygen systems. The chemical oxygen generator requires approximately 1/3 the space for equivalent amounts of oxygen as bottled system. Oxygen candles contains sodium chlorate mixed with appropriate binders and fuel formed into a block. When the candle is activated, it releases oxygen. We have an igniter or actuated either electrically or by a spring starts the candle burning. The core of the candle is insulated to retain the heat needed for the chemical action and to prevent the housing from getting too hot. As we see in this figure, this illustrates the chemical oxygen or solid oxygen system. The long shelf life of unused chemical oxygen generators makes them an ideal source for oxygen for occasional flights where oxygen is needed, and for the emergency oxygen supply for pressurized aircraft, where oxygen is required only as a standby in case cabin pressurization is lost. Oxygen system servicing. Care and attention to details is the mark of professional aviation maintenance. When possible, all oxygen servicing should be done outdoors or at least in a well-ventilated area of the hangar. Servicing gases oxygen systems. Leak testing gases oxygen systems. Searches for leaks are made using a special leak detector. This material is a form of non-oily soap solution. Flareless fittings can leak from both under and over tightening. Draining the oxygen system. Draining should be done after the high pressure bottle has been removed or insulated from the system. Draining should be done outdoors or in a well ventilated hangar. A system will require purging after the system has been drained. Filling an oxygen system. Fixed base operators will usually have an oxygen servicing cart. A cart consists of 6 large cylinders, each holding approximately 250 cubic feet of the aviator's breathing oxygen. A 7th cylinder facing the opposite direction and filled with compressed nitrogen and is normally carried to charge hydraulic accumulators and landing gear struts, as we see in this figure. The bottles of the oxygen, and here in the opposite direction, of course you all know that is the nitrogen. Connections must be kept clean and protected from damage. No oxygen should be allowed to become completely empty. When there is no pressure inside the cylinder, air can enter and most air contains water vapor.